Hello, Hollaback girls, and welcome back to the Headaches and Hot Takes podcast. I'm your host, Shapirian. That is my guy, Hearn, a.k.a. a donkey named Hote, a.k.a. a cup of grace, a.k.a. the holder of the Xbox gamer tag Comptroller, capital C, capital T. The Herniator.
Buddy, a few times I've been around that track. So it's not just going to happen like that. Because I ain't no holla back girl.
Oh, I was like, is this lyrics? Yes, it is lyrics. Yeah. way to pick up on it and join in, man.
I think it's like a rant. That's a song where like I feel like a large amount of people don't know the lyrics, and I'm surprised.
No, I don't know the lyrics for the most part. And like I heard it on the radio in like November or December. It's not been that long. Okay. I'm just like, But I'm never going to listen to that full song on my own accord. So, okay. But who cares? Welcome back to Headaches and Hot Takes pod, bro. What's going on, man? What's up, Herniator? Comptroller, Don
dude.
Quixote.
Dude, have you ever really sat down and thought about the people who sit beside you at work?
I do my best not to whenever I'm outside of work. Why?
Okay, well, I found out this week that a man whose cube was adjacent to mine was part of a terrorist organization. I don't know. I thought he just quit.
What?
I thought he just quit. He just stopped showing up one day. I was like, whatever. Yesterday at work, somebody said, "Have you heard of Blankety Blank? What happened to him?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Dude, he got caught. He's like in a terrorist group." What?
He got caught. They got him.
I went and Googled it, and sure enough, he came to America with a fake name. Well, he came to America obviously under his name. Then he changed his identity. He changed his whole family's identity. Had fake passports, had fake everything. And the reason he got caught, apparently, was this dude, he was from, like, Turkey. Okay?
Okay.
And he like, his name was very foreign.
Turkish.
Yes. I couldn't spell his name to you.
Oh, great.
His name on his passport was, like, Alan Smith.
Oh, okay.
Dude does not look like an Alan Smith. And the reason he got caught, apparently, was at the airport, his accent got him caught. They were like, this dude does not have an English accent to be no Alan Smith.
American accent.
And, yeah. And he got caught. So, he's detained somewhere. I don't know what his intentions were. I talked to this man at least 3 times a week. I would get into a call with this man, or like, hey man, how you doing, whatever, and he seemed nice. I couldn't sniff out a terrorist. Unfortunately, not this guy.
What a quote. That's going right up there with I don't answer to the Pope.
I couldn't sniff out a terrorist. I think sometimes maybe you could.
It's not for me. Leave that to the professionals, you know?
But in the news article I read about it, it said he could be one of their, quote, key members. Yeah, dude.
You were feet from this guy on a regular basis.
I was 8 feet from this guy. Yeah.
When you say adjacent, do you mean there was a wall between you, or was he on the other end of your cubicle section?
Yeah, like it was like, like 4 cubes, like walls. Mm-hmm. His was like literally like 45-degree angle that way.
Yeah.
So if I about to stood up, and if I stood up and he stood up, we were facing each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang, son.
Yeah. So.
You feel safer today?
Head on a swivel, people. Head on a swivel. You gotta. There's nothing's going on. I mean,
Real talk. Not to change the subject. Although I don't know how much YouTube is going to like our mention of the word terrorist that many times in our podcast. But
bleep it.
When I worked next door.
Like, what's the story here?
What?
He's a what?
What's he saying? I work next to a Subway employee. Just put that in there every time you say it. Put the word.
And this Subway employee. He's gone. What happened? All I see is your hat.
Oh my god.
He's recovering. Here he comes.
Oh my god. Dude, I'm just trying to think of that whole story with Subway.
He was a key member of the Subway employee. Don't cut it. Don't cut it to where it makes sense.
Of the subway.
The Subway employee.
Just the subway. Just the subway.
I think leave Subway employee.
Subway.
I think. Oh my gosh. Now we have to make that clip. We have to make that clip just in case.
It wouldn't even be that hard. Here's your audio clip. Subway employee.
At the 6-minute mark. Cut it. So there you have it, pal. I didn't expect that random story to turn into that, but who would have known? God. I'm gonna tell you about this terrorist at my work, and you're gonna be falling out of your chair.
I'm gonna tell you about this subway employee at my work.
I didn't know you worked at Subway.
Subway, and you didn't even know.
I had no idea, bro. That is like, of all things, I was like, well, that's I never. That's one of those things, like, until it happens, like, you never expect it, I guess, which is how a lot of things work. But
that's also true for every major tragedy in the world's history. So
true. Talked about a couple of those already. So
we're not getting into that again. You said keep your head on a swivel, which is a common quote for football. You get your head knocked off, you get the break speed off you by a guy like Sean Taylor or Brian Dawkins or Ed Reed. I just named 3 safeties. I didn't even name linebackers. Let's go Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis, those guys. Mm-hmm. And they're like, he should have had his head on a swivel. Can you imagine watching a football game and a guy is running a route or he's got the ball, he's caught it already, and he's running, he's going.
It's like that.
No one does that. It's
one
garbage.
of those real clips was Geno Smith when I think it was Aaron Donald was chasing him down.
Oh, yeah.
He's, oh, crap!
Heck no.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, heck no.
That was exactly the perfect response. Yeah. He had his head on a swivel.
I mean, he was coming right at him, too.
Right, but
this is
swivel forwards.
And I imagine the answer is probably no. But, I mean, I follow enough NFL pages to where, like, this is not going to be a surprise for me. Have you seen Aaron Donald without his shirt on? That is a scary guy. Do you know you've seen him at least with a jersey and pads on, surely.
Right.
Big guy. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's got an ounce of body fat on him. He's like shredded, and he's like 350 pounds of shredded, which is impossible to do.
It's insane, dude.
Scary guy, and he runs faster than half the people on the field. Dude, he's ridiculous. Mountain of
not the same. I'm not saying they're the same, but Jalen Phillips, the guy who got hurt for the Dolphins this year, there's like I've seen pictures of him in camp. Dude, it looks like he should be playing Aquaman or somebody, dude. He is insane.
Yeah,
he's insane. Some of those guys, oh my gosh,
don't ask me, man. I don't know how you get that big.
Don't ask me.
So there's this big boy on Michigan's football team named Kenneth Grant. He's only a sophomore. He's coming back for his junior year next year. And Katron Allen, you probably don't know who that is. It's Penn State's starting halfback. Was like the Big Ten's leading rusher in yards for like half the season or more, right? Mm-hmm. Breaks away during the Penn State-Michigan game, and he's gone. The safety has no angle on him or anything. Kenneth Grant, over 300 pounds, runs this guy down from behind. And I'm like...
Was that the same play that you and I... We texted about a play like that. I was like, how did that guy catch him?
We definitely did, because we were texting about that game. You're right. I remember that.
I was like, how did he catch him? And you were like, I don't know, because he's 350 pounds. I was like, dude, like, if I heard
huge
a human athlete like that, like, oh my God, dude. You hear perfection chasing you down at 350 pounds? Like, peak male performance.
You hear guys, and you're like, they're playing the wrong sport. Not Kenneth Grant. Not Aaron Donald. Okay? Because they are huge, and that's the sport for them. Is making the offense's life miserable.
Dude, I'm telling you, we talked about it after the divisional round of the playoffs, because I think every single game was decided, or every single game had a missed field goal. I think.
Yeah.
Which
I think every round in the divisional,
or 4.
Every game in the divisional round did. Yeah, at least one missed field goal.
How in this country of 350 million people is there not 32 people who can nail a 40-yard field goal? Make it 90. Make it 90 times out of 100. That's still pretty high. But there's not 30. There's not 32 people in the country or the world even, because we got some people from everywhere. What we doing?
You know, a major proponent of that theory is, well, he went viral for it a couple years ago. You might have saw it. Ninja, this guy right here, Ninja.
Oh,
he went
nice.
viral for like literally tweeting out to his millions of followers. He's like, I don't understand how the NFL has kickers who just miss kicks. And like, it sounds so stupid to say on the surface, but like, I wholeheartedly agree. Like, how, dude, the announcers after the Bills-Chiefs game was over, or after the kick was missed, either way, the game was over at that point, basically.
Yeah, same thing, yeah.
Said, and I quote, "We said any kicks on that end of the field had the ball going from left to right." Dude, he did not kick that ball even a little bit left to account for the fact that it was going to be going right, which the announcers knew. I should hope to God the kicker knew. And like, there's people I saw like busting with the boys. They had a clip this past week. That's a former NFL player podcast, Taylor Lewan, Will Compton. They were like, I don't know, man, it's kind of weird. Like, the orange flappy things weren't going, indicating the wind. And yes, that's true. But like, the announcers knew already, based off of something with the weather, ball's going to go from left to right if it's going down there. Okay? I guess on the other end, it would have been right to left. That's how that works, right?
Should.
Right. I'm not going to guarantee that. It should work like that. The announcers knew. There's no reason the kicker didn't know. And I mean, he kicked it. It would have had the leg easily. But he kicked it at an angle to where, like, he was already pushing the right side of the goalpost anyways. Mm-hmm. It's not like he was like, oh, man, right down the middle if there was no wind.
Yeah. He was lucky he would barely make it, period. If
no wind.
Even.
Perfect circumstances. Real quick, intermission here. I had Steak and Shake again earlier this week. Courtesy of you. It's a birthday gift. I appreciate it, sir.
Oh, yes. No
I used your gift card you gave me. And I just want to say, I believe, if I recall, I caught a little bit of grief for 2 restaurants in our long ago burger ranking. Feels long ago at this point. Mm-hmm. I think Steak and Shake was one of them. Steak and Shake has good burgers. Cookout was the other one. I had Cookout again. It did not hold up. I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. It did not hold up. I was very sad. But Steak and Shake, if you're sleeping on Steak and Shake, talk about it, bro. Talk about it. It's good stuff.
I think Steak and Shake as a whole is not bad. If you got Steak and Shake delivered to your house, so you're not getting the aesthetic, you only eat the burger. You only eat the burger, just the burger, compared to a lot of the burgers we mentioned. I think it is. It's not top 5.
I didn't say top 5. It's a diner burger.
Okay.
It's a diner burger, and so it's a little different. But I had a quick burger update. Do you have a burger update for us? Because I believe you might.
Dude, I had the patty melt from Whataburger. It's a patty melt. It's on Texas Toast, of course.
I need to know how many minutes away from this In-N-Out burger are you? Minutes.
I don't want to tell you because it's too close. It's inexcusable.
I'm gonna choke the life out of you if you don't.
Well, it is because they don't. I can't. They are closer than half of the restaurants I've gotten DoorDash here. Apparently, they don't do delivery and they don't let DoorDash. I don't know why. In-N-Out. Why not? I don't know. And I am definitely, between me and my wife, I love burgers. I can eat burgers pretty frequently. She's not really big on burgers, so like the chances of me saying like, hey, like she would if I said, hey, let's try In-N-Out. We never had it. She would, but compared to all the other stuff around us, it's not like.
Gotta try it, man. Whataburger and In-N-Out. Gordon Ramsay has In-N-Out as like one of his favorite places to eat. Gordon freaking Ramsay, one of the world's most renowned chefs, likes a fast food burger. It's got to be good. Try it, please.
Okay.
And in terms of other burger updates, not that this is a regular bit on the podcast if you're new here, just, I have them, so why not? I have got to try Culver's soon. I'm close enough to it. I've heard good things. Mm-hmm. I have had cheese curds from there before. I was driving by one with some friends for like an out-of-state event a long time ago. Got cheese curds. Did not get a burger. What the frick was I thinking?
What a loser.
I know. I think I was broke back then. I think I had literally no money.
I could afford all these $2 cheese curds. Please, sir.
So I want to try Culver's soon. They have they call them like butter burgers, which I think sounds really good. I don't know. They look good too.
I will say,
so, there you go.
Yesterday at work, the reason I got the patty melt tonight was because yesterday at work, we went to lunch, and we all had our lunch like in the office, and we all went out and got our own thing. And somebody had In-N-Out, and I said, "Is In-N-Out better than Whataburger?" They said no. like which on one end we are in Texas, so I'm not surprised that a bunch of Texans are going to say Whataburger. But genuinely, 60% of that crowd were not from Texas, so and they had access to In-N-Outs. Obviously, there's In-N-Outs. Dude got it for lunch. There's In-N-Outs here. So it wasn't like, only born and raised Texans were saying Whataburger. It was just random people from random.
I think Whataburger looks good. I will think it's good whenever I end up having it one of these days. I look forward to trying it. In-N-Out's aesthetic is really interesting to me. I just want to, like, the animal style and things like that. I don't know. I just think it looks very appetizing. So I would like to try it at some point. But that's all I have on that front for now. That's it. That's it for me.
There you have it, pal. So now what?
Why don't you tell me what now? How about that?
What now,
You
baby?
stink.
What we got now is the headache and/or hot take of the week.
So you just rebranded it, huh? We rebranded it.
I like saying that because I think half the time mine are headaches. Not tonight. Not tonight. We got a hot take tonight, baby.
Getting ready. I'm ready.
For example, I went and researched on Reddit, of all places. I did research several places, but I did do some research on Reddit on this opinion that I have. And the original poster, the OP, every single reply they had in the thread had like -30 votes. -30, -21. Like, he was getting dogged for this opinion. But I felt for the guy. Yeah, I was like, man, like, I 100% agree with him. I don't know if we've explicitly talked about this, you and I. I think we might have just in passing. And I think you'll disagree.
This sounds like we're going to have to be careful not to cut into our subject time with the kind of take you're dishing out here.
It might be. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So,
all right, pal.
I'm going to have some time to talk. I honestly think this is going to be a hot take where there might be times where I go on a rant because as always, I have research. But most of I'm going to ask you a lot of questions here because I want to know what your opinion is. And I want to know why I want to know if you have the other opinion, why.
Why?
So tell me something, pal.
Okay.
The Denver Nuggets. Who are they?
What the frick? What do you mean, who are they?
As of last year, who are the Denver Nuggets?
The NBA champion. Oh, God. This thing. You know I feel differently
on NBA champions.
You know I feel differently.
Cut it.
Than this on you.
Cut it at NBA champions. So I wanted to ask, why do you side with the thing that says NBA champions are world champions? Can you give me like a 2-sentence, like, because blank?
Yes. Because the NBA is the undisputed most talented league in the world where the best players in the world are competing for a championship.
Okay.
That's it.
That's fine. So, I got some facts here for you. First off, this whole thing came up for anyone who doesn't know. Noah Lyles, I guess how you say his last name. He's a sprinter. Dude, he's a sprinter for the United States. And he won a world championship. And he said something about, long story short, he threw shade at the NBA for calling themselves world champions. He's like, we're world champions. There's a lot of countries represented in the NBA. There are. Go back to 2010 when old Greg Popovich, he in 2010 sided with everyone who said no. He literally said, "quote There's no world champions in the NBA. There's not." And as of 2010, there probably was. Actually, there was less countries represented in the NBA. So would you agree that as of like 2010, would you even in 2010 say, "Oh, they're world champions"?
Yeah, it was still the best league with the best players in the world. Yep, absolutely.
So you would still say?
I would say it's undisputed as of the ABA-NBA merger, which was like early 70s. Okay,
so one opinion I have seen a lot of, and I read in that Reddit thing I mentioned. Oh no, as of back in 2010, no, there wasn't that many countries. No, there wasn't. In 2010, there were 38 countries represented in the NBA.
In the NBA?
Now there's 40.
Okay.
We haven't increased. It's not like we went from 20 to 400. We increased too in 14 years. You know how many countries are in the world? Off the top of your head? Do you? I do.
No, it's like 145?
195.
Okay, 195.
That means 20%. 20% of countries are represented in the NBA. I'm not saying that's a small number. It's not the world. It is not the world. You cannot. And again, back to Noah Lyles.
Dude,
I'm not saying Noah Lyles is right in everything he said. In that competition that Noah Lyles ran, 179 countries were in that competition.
Congrats.
And he beat every single one.
Not disputing him. Let me tell you this, right? So are the Olympic gold medalists in basketball world champions?
My take is I don't think anybody is world champions. I think if you had to pick,
so the sprinter is though.
He beat because my opinion on it is this is impossible. So I have to concede a little bit, I guess. Unless Noah Lyles raced every single person on the planet and beat every single person on the planet, then he's world champion. Then he's a world champion.
Dude, that's
why? This is my biggest thing with it. Why does it matter to y'all? Why does it burn you so much for me to say they're NBA champs? No, they're not. They're world champions. What does it matter? You're sitting at home either way.
How these discussions go, and you know it's not.
It has
people are saying they're not NBA champions, they're world champions. That's not typically how it goes. It's whenever someone says the Denver Nuggets are world champions. It's Kevin Harlan, right? And then someone says, "Nuh-uh." That it's your side of the argument that's doing the nuh-uh. It's not our side. So let's watch it there.
No.
Okay?
The nuh-uhs
absolutely how it
whenever
goes.
The nuh-uhs happen whenever one man said, "Man, USA ain't the world. This ain't the world champion."
That's him saying, "Don't call yourselves that because you're not." That's him saying exactly what I just said. That your side goes, "Nuh-uh."
Obviously, the two sides disagree with each other. If we're arguing over which side disagrees more, why? Because y'all, like, no offense, because I'm the same person. You're not in the NBA. Why do you care? Why do you care?
It bothers me because there's this implication of, like, you don't have any idea that you're the best team in the world, which is basically what you're saying. To me, to dispute that the Denver Nuggets last year, who won the NBA championship, might not have been the best team in the world. You don't know. You didn't go against the whole world. Suck my balls, okay? They're the best team in the world.
Dude,
They were.
You are a numbers guy. Yes,
I am.
There are 7.7 billion people not in America. There's not 12 out of 7.7 billion
12
people.
basketball players that were going to beat the Denver Nuggets last year in a best-of-7 series. There's not. Don't act like there was.
We don't know that.
Oh my God! You don't have to prove that to know that.
The fact. Okay, I don't have to. Okay, you know what? I am faster than you. We don't have to prove it. I'm just saying it. So that's true. We didn't prove it, but I'm just saying.
Easily provable versus, in your words, impossible.
So because this is
proved.
because unfortunately there's no way to poll every single person on Earth. We'll concede. That's not how this works.
This is ridiculous.
Giannis, but just because certain people share this opinion, I'm not saying that means I'm right. But he was the MVP of the finals in 2021. He agrees. He said Noah Lyles said the obvious thing. He said he was obviously correct that they're not world champions. Do you think who wins the MLB, are they world champions?
It's not the MLB. It's MLB, first of all.
I said MLB. Unless did I say NLB?
You said who wins the MLB. It's not the Major League Baseball. It's just Major League Baseball.
Who wins the MLB championship? I might have.
There you go.
Fractioned out a word.
Who wins the World Series? I mean, here's the thing. I actually think that's where this is real talk here. I think Major League Baseball's championship being called the World Series is where American championship teams getting called world champions comes from. If the Texas Rangers, you're from Texas right now, right? You live in Texas, you're not from Texas, you know what I mean? They won the World Series last year. They're the World Series champions.
They're the World Series champions. Just like the Denver Nuggets
are
the NBA
How many
champions.
times do you think over the years, baseball has been doing the World Series since the early 1900s, how many times do you think people started referring to them world champs, getting the World Series out there, World Series champs, world champs? That was, to me, undoubtedly where that came from. And then it started getting applied to other sports. The NFL came along, right, in the late teens, or like 1920, something like that. NBA, ABA came along in the 50s. And so I think journalists and announcers are going off that precedent of World champs.
Yes.
Which came from an abbreviation of World Series champs. By your logic, how can they call it the World Series? There's only 30 teams and 29 of them are American.
It's stupid, but it's on one end it's stupid, but it also started in 1903.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna fault something that was created that long ago, and we just stuck with it. That's not their fault. Everybody was stupid back then. Look at any opinion.
So do you think that the Super Bowl champions, they're not world champs by your logic. They're not world champions. There is a team out there, not in the NFL, of 53 players currently organized that could beat them in a game.
Obviously, the bigger the roster size gets, the
answer
less
is no.
The less chance there is. That's how numbers work.
Yes or no?
But
could a team of 53 people currently playing organized football beat whoever wins the Super Bowl this year?
Probably half of them. Probably half of them, because football is an any given day sport. It's not a series. Football's a terrible option for this.
You think there is a team currently playing in the XFL, or whatever frick they're calling it these days, that could beat an NFL team on a Super Bowl stage?
Mate, I think there could be outside of the NFL, yes. But if you're saying that not even in the NFL, because the NFL is a one game, that's it. I agree that in the MLB, in the NBA, in hockey, I agree that
just
in almost
MLB,
every
not the
other
MLB.
league. In almost every other
not
league.
Not the MLB. I'm just giving you grief.
I agree that because they do a series, that's the best way to determine. The Denver Nuggets were the best team in the NBA last year because they won a series. They proved it.
They're the best team in the best
whoever
league in
wins
the world, full of the best players.
Whoever wins the Super Bowl this year is not guaranteed the best team in football.
That's
especially
true. I don't disagree
especially
with that.
if whatever. So okay, so that's not, like I don't think. I think NFL is a little weird to argue because I think NFL, because of the way it's set up, anybody could beat anybody. I don't understand. I understand that there are so many countries involved. Again, 20% of the world's countries are involved. So how there's 80% of the world is not represented in the NBA.
Who cares?
Numbers do.
All of the world with organized basketball teams that have players worth being in the NBA have players in the NBA right now.
We're getting them all. We have successfully scouted all 7.7 billion people, and they're either in the G League where they belong, or they're in the NBA where they belong.
Did you hear what I said? All countries with organized basketball.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying over there
we got them all.
Bahrain, right? There might be a player out there who, if he trained for 5 years with an NBA team, could definitely make an NBA roster and make a huge impact. Yeah, that's very true. That's very possible. But the idea of, like, there could be 12 athletes I could pull from this corner of the world and this corner, and I'll take this guy, and I'll get this guy, but he's never played before, but he's a great athlete. Give him 6 months. And then we'll put them together, and they could beat the Nuggets in 7 games. That's not the argument. And I at least can understand where you're saying, like, Noah Lyles can't prove that he's the fastest man in the world. There might be someone faster. But to say that you think there is a reasonable chance that there is currently a basketball team, not in the NBA, that is a professional team, you can even throw college in there if you want, because they wouldn't have a chance either, that could beat the Nuggets in a 7-game series. You're smoking crack. You are.
It's not necessary. It doesn't have to be.
That's the principle behind saying world champs and saying, like, it's fine to call them that. It's fine to call them that.
It really doesn't have to be a team. You could take, if there was a Joker on this team and there's a Joker on that team and there's a
That's not how sports works.
That's how every team comes to be. Every team ever, every player was a part of another team at some point. Unless you're Albert Pujols for the first, 20 years of your career and you stick on one team. Every team ever, you were parts of other teams. So what do you mean that's not how sports work? That is the definition of how sports work.
Let me let you finish your point here. Every member, if you're taking guys from other teams, what about
it? You're saying it's. I can't say. You can't take Jimmy Butler, take this guy, take that guy, put them on one team. They're beating the Denver Nuggets. So you can't say that.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's stupid.
Do those people exist on the world?
That the NBA, that the United States Olympic team couldn't have beat the Nuggets. They're not a team.
They're not a team?
I'm saying there's not an organized team. The USA team literally is not organized right now. They don't play basketball together. They're going to pick a bunch of NBA players. They're going to play together for one summer, and they'll do the Olympics. So, no, they're not. But to say that you're the world champs to me means you're the best team that year in the world. You're the best team in the world, okay? Is that a hot take right there? Because if so, if you think that's a hot take right there, we should have stopped this argument because you're never going to agree with me.
It goes both ways, pal. It goes both ways. You are saying, yep, out of 7.7 billion people, there is not 12. There is not 12 that could have beaten the Denver Nuggets. There's not.
That's not what I'm saying.
But because we have 20
of you to imply that.
Because we have 20% of the world's countries represented. There's not some guy in Zimbabwe
You're being so small boxed with this. You're not looking at it from the most obvious perspective.
Which is what?
Take all the teams that play basketball currently in the world that currently play basketball. First of all, I think you're going to struggle to find even one that beats an NBA team best out of 7. You might get someone who beats the Spurs, who beats the Trailblazers, who beats the Hornets. Possible. I'm not going to deny that, okay? If you're talking NBA champions, if you're telling me that there's another team in 1996 that could have beaten the 72-10 Bulls, or this team that plays in Spain, they might have beat them in 7 games. No, there's not a chance of that. There is no chance. None. And it's ridiculous to imply otherwise. So
it's not.
You can finish your take.
It's not these countries' fault. It's not the people around the world's fault. It's nobody's fault that we can't poll every single person on the planet.
What do we think of the guys over there in Zimbabwe?
It's not anybody's fault.
They're not being represented.
But the fact is that this is a fact.
It does not apply to this.
Until somehow you as a whether it's one-on-one, whether it's a team, whether it's whatever, until you beat the entire world, you are not a world champion. That's a fact. That is a fact.
Ridiculous. No.
So I don't understand why. Well, because they play in the
fact. It is a fact to say that until you beat every single person in the world,
proven, no. A fact has to be proven. That's what makes
it
a fact. Otherwise, it's a theory.
To say that you are not world champion. It is a fact to say you can't guarantee that you could beat every single person in the world. That's what you're saying, and that's true. That's true.
AKA not world. We don't know you're world champions. If we don't know you could beat everybody in the world, you're not world champions. Here.
That's the whole thing with this argument is the idea of world champs. That means you beat everyone in the whole world. No, it doesn't. Why would it mean that? That is so ridiculous to imply.
Then why say it? Then why call it that?
Because that's how people talk.
Why can't you just stick to NBA champs? Why is it not good enough for you? Why is it not good enough for all you people sitting on the couch watching anyway? You're not a part of it. You're sitting on the couch watching. They're not. I don't understand why you're so passionate about this.
You're the one that made it a whole segment on a podcast this week. I'm not burnt up by this
because I can't believe that I can't believe it.
I can't believe that you're making an argument. There might be a team out there that isn't in the NBA that could have beat the Denver Nuggets in a best-of-7 series last year. Because it ain't true. I'm telling you right now.
I guess out of all 7.7 billion outside of the U.S., there's not 12. There's not.
You're missing the point. I didn't say there's not 12. I said there's not a team currently playing out there. Why would we neglect to use this title that's been in human language for over 100 years? Because, I think there might be 12 guys out there that, if you put them together and you gave them an 82-game season, could have beat them. Well, then screw us. We can't call them world champs anymore. That's ridiculous.
You don't disagree. You don't disagree that out of 7.7 billion people, there's not 12 that could have beat the Denver Nuggets last year.
I don't disagree that there is a chance that out of the whole world, there might be 12 people that in the correct circumstances for their lives and in the right coaches and the right training and all other things that have zero chances of happening could have beaten the Denver Nuggets in a 7-game series. That's possible. I do disagree that there is a team currently existing, competing, playing basketball that could have beaten them. But that isn't in the NBA. Okay?
Even if that's your take, that's fine. But you're literally saying that there is a chance that there are people out there that could have beaten them. So then how can you say, but they're still champions of the world? They didn't play the whole world. You're saying there's a chance other people could beat them. I don't understand that. That literally contradicts. Contradicts.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It does not.
Don't call them world champions unless they have beaten.
Will, and I'm going to add
what's
his
his name?
Tweet that I do.
Noah Lyles is not a world champion. He beat, what did I just say, 178 countries.
You cited him in this argument, but he calls himself world champs. He calls himself a world champ. I proved it.
I literally said I don't agree with him. That was like, I think the first words out of my mouth.
I know, I get that. Okay. But I'm saying, like,
I
think you're in the minority's minority. You're in the minority of the minority to think that even the Olympics doesn't classify as a world champ.
I think if anything, like him, okay, that's what I was getting ready to say. Noah Lyles is more of a world champ than the NBA champs because he played, 98% of the world, represented countries. The NBA plays 20%.
Because 80% of countries don't field NBA players. We can't. Oh, we don't know the best basketball players in the world.
That's not their fault,
guys. If there was a basketball player in another country who plays in a 2-team league because there's only 10 people that care about basketball in this random country, I promise you, someone somewhere would get eyes on him.
Have you seen the movie Hustle?
You're gonna say like the country's not represented. They might have basketball players currently. No, they don't.
Have you seen the movie Hustle with Adam Sandler?
No.
Telling the story of, I can't even remember the basketball player. It is a movie. I think it's pretty, I have to imagine it's pretty accurate. I don't know which NBA player it tells the story of, honestly. But the whole, yeah.
Is this recent?
Yes. It was a great movie.
It's
he
Juancho
found the
Hernan
guy in
Gomez.
Spain.
Juancho Hernan Gomez.
Okay.
But he has a different name in the movie, not his real name.
I'm not saying the movie Hustle is 100% accurate. That's how it is, whatever. But it does a great job of portraying. In that movie, he is a scout. He's in Spain. He's like, hey, this guy's great. They tell him, we don't like him. We don't want him. You don't think that ever happens? You don't think it ever happens that some scout either just misses a guy or there's this guy, like the scout say, man, I'm watching this guy. He is great. And because of whatever reason.
First of all, yes, movie fabrication didn't use the guy's real name in the movie. So yes, it was made to lead you.
Oh God, that means it's unusable.
So, not what I'm saying. But in the cases where those players are ready to go, okay? Hey, this guy is NBA worthy. Okay? What they're not saying, the scouts who believe in the guys, none of them. No one is saying, plug them in right now on a starting 5 of a playoff team, and that team has a better chance of winning. Talent-wise, maybe with the right grinding and the right tools and the right people, maybe this guy could be a difference maker in the NBA. Maybe in 3 to 4 years of development. Maybe in the G League or college. But to say that there's a chance right now, there's, oh my God.
You just said there is. You just said that there.
Chance.
But there is a
No, you didn't even let me finish my sentence. I don't think there's a chance that there's a team out there playing basketball right now. Because again, the best team is the world champs. The best team is the world champs. Or are the world champs. The best team is, the best players are. I guess the best team is.
It could go anyway. Stupid English. Go ahead.
Best team is the world champ. I guess the singular world champ? In that case, I don't freaking know.
We are the world.
The best team is. The best league with the best players crowns the best team. They're the world champs. Period.
They are the champs of that league, which is the
I
best
promise
in the world.
You, the Denver
and
Nuggets,
I don't know why that's not good enough.
The 2023 Denver Nuggets would smoke any team you put in front of them. Not in the NBA, in a best-of-7 series. And if you think otherwise, you're doing crap. And we should have ended this debate 10 minutes ago because we've not budged anywhere from it. And now we're running well on time.
We don't know that. They are the best team.
This is a ridiculous take.
In the best league. Hands down.
They're the best team in the world, then. Yep.
They are the best of what is represented.
They're the best team in the world.
I don't know why that's not good enough. I don't know why it has to jump to world. I don't get it. So is Noah Lyles the best in the world, would you say?
I'd have no problem saying that, yeah. No problem saying that.
So then what happens on the years?
Is there a chance that there's some guy out there who's currently faster? Maybe.
So then, okay. So
I'm not going to stop giving out this title because of some guy that we don't know about and never will know about. Screw that. That's stupid to me.
So then when on the years of the Summer Olympics, I think this year is one of them, if this year in the Summer Olympics, Japan wins basketball.
Yep.
What are they?
Well, that's happened before.
Right.
I think it was Spain. Spain won the gold medal in that.
So are you going to bump them down to Olympic champions, or would you call them world champions? But not the NBA. You wouldn't call the NBA champions. You would call the Olympic champions.
I do call them NBA champions. I do. I don't go out of. I'm not calling them world champs left and right.
So then, was Spain the best in the world that year?
They were the best international team in the world that year. But do you understand that the U.S. was not fielding their best possible team? You realize that, surely to God, right?
That's an excuse for the U.S. here, but it's not an excuse whenever I'm using it from our argument. I don't get it.
What do you mean, bro? You're not making any sense.
Well, that one, those asterisks on that because the U.S. wasn't fielding their best, but
that's an objective fact. Go look at that team that got bronze medal in the Olympics. They were not. Dude, they got smoked in the FIBA championship this past summer. That team was a joke. I bet if you named 25 NBA players off the top of your head, you would not name one player that was on that team this past summer.
I don't.
Why? Because it's not in their best interest. So, I'm telling you, the best measurement of the best team in the world is the NBA. Period. That's it. I'm done. I'm done with this subject.
Especially,
I'm done with this subject.
Especially considering the Olympics. Because, again, I wouldn't even say the Olympics are world champions. They are more likely to be world champions because they are playing a wider represented pool. They have more of a right to say they are world champions than whoever wins a national league that has countries represented. There are more countries in the Olympics than there are represented in the NBA. So the Olympics...
It's the fault of the other countries. It's not the fault of the NBA. So I'm not going to fault the NBA for that.
It's nobody's fault. That's what I'm saying. It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault that we can't, for sure, know the NBA capabilities, especially with training, given the right circumstances. It's nobody's fault that we cannot know that of the entire world. We literally can never. We will never. That means
so then the title of world champion should never be used. Never.
No, not unless you've beaten the world.
Ridiculous, dude.
I don't understand.
That's a ridiculous thing to say.
I don't understand. I'm trying to think of a way to dumb that down to a small, because this is a big pool. There's a lot of factors, a lot of variables. I get all that. Mm-hmm. But imagine at your company, Shapirian, the best blank in the company. Hey, did we run his facts against every person in the company? No. But eye test says he's the best. Is that right? No. You're not.
That would never happen. Never happen. That would never happen.
But if it happened,
you can't give me a circumstance that would never happen.
Can you apply that method of thinking into this scenario? If there somehow was no way of measuring your output as your role, maybe there might not be, depending on what all you do. So could you or could you not say this person is the best blank your role in the world? Do you think you could do that?
Best accountant in the world?
Could you? He is the best. Anybody.
There's not any measurement for that. No. Why?
I don't understand how there just suddenly is for NBA. And I don't know. I also don't know
they're pitting against each other in competition.
What if it was?
Where you're losing me is the idea that there might be a team out there in the freaking Turkish league or the Euro League, or let's talk about Real Madrid or FC Barcelona. They have basketball teams too, in case you didn't know. They might beat the Nuggets in 7 games. No, they wouldn't. Give me a break.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying there are people, whether they're on a team or not.
Ridiculous.
There is a super team you could build that would build a super team, it's whatever. And the fact is, we don't know. So I don't understand.
To withhold a title that has been in human vernacular for 100+ years.
It's an incorrect title
because of this.
Okay. It is incorrect. If people want to call them that, then y'all call them that. They are not. It is an incorrect title. It is foul. It is phallus.
Congrats.
It is a fallacy.
You're in the minority.
Minority of this fact has not been proven, therefore it's not a fact. It is a theory.
I see why this guy got downvoted into oblivion, bro. He deserved it.
It is a theory that they are world champs. It's not a fact.
Who cares?
Okay. So here's my
great hot take.
Statement.
I don't agree.
Closing
so
statement.
That's what they're for.
My closing statement is, and you're going to say the same to me, I don't understand what bothers you about the possibility of them not being world champs. Saying, yeah, you know what? Factually, we cannot factually prove it, so they're not. So you know what? They are the best of the best league. They are the best of they are some of the best in the world, perhaps the best in the world. But to say they are 100% the best team in the world, we can't prove it. Therefore, they're not.
Dumb.
And I don't see why it's such a big deal. I don't.
Yeah. That's dumb. Sorry, pal. May you die on the hill alone.
Die on the hill of facts and numbers. It's lonely up here these days.
Okay. Well, believe it or not, people, this is actually not what we came here to talk about this week. This was not supposed to turn into the whole episode. So we're gonna end it. What? If you can believe it, yeah. We're gonna end it there and talk about something we're really excited to talk about this week. That also might have some disagreements in there. It's basically the Disagreements podcast here, right? We're off the rails. We're headaches, not dicks. Disagreements pod. Might as well be. Because I thought of something earlier this week that I hope can spawn wider or more narrow, more specific versions of this debate. Of 5 blank I can't live without. Basically to say if you had 5 of these things for the rest of your life, what 5 are you choosing? And I went with a very broad, easy, digestible, one might say.
Wow.
Subject for this first week. And we came up with 5 foods that you can't live without. At least I did.
And
this guy apparently did.
Some people may ask, hey, does that differ from your top 5 favorite foods? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. But it's a fun way to word it. And I like it.
It is, right? Yeah, it's so much more like primal. I couldn't live without it.
It's more thought-provoking.
You'd have to put a stake through my temples.
Ooh. So go ahead, pal. What's one of your foods that you could not live without? Tell us.
I'm gonna go, I guess, ascending order, starting at 5, right?
Okay.
Going up to 1. And I don't think we're gonna have any real surprises on this list. It's the first time we're doing this. We didn't go specific, and that's something we specified amongst ourselves. Don't go specific, right? So, like, if you said burgers,
the Big Mac
don't
burger.
say Big Macs.
Yeah.
Right. I love Big Macs.
Big Macs are good.
Big Macs are good. That's what it is. Big Macs are good.
Big Macs are good, pal.
Like. So for number 5 on my list, I put your favorite food, perhaps. Bagels.
Oh,
delicious, yummy bagels, dude.
You couldn't live without bagels. I promise you could.
I need.
I promise.
I promise you'd be okay. That just goes to show the flaw in the wording. But I needed a breakfast food. I don't want to never have breakfast again for the rest of my life. If you're making me pick 5 and I can't eat anything but this for the rest of my life, bagels, and feel free to tell me if you think this is not within the spirit of the game. Bagels can just be regular bagels toasted with cream cheese. Bagels can also mean bagel sandwiches. If I order a bagel with cream cheese or a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, I'm just ordering a bagel. Although that being said, some people might be like, that's a bagel sandwich. That doesn't count. I don't think so. I just call it a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. Or bagel with cream cheese. So that's the food. It's the same food, just different.
Okay.
So my number 5 is bagels, my favorite breakfast item. I told my wife for years. Like, I have told my wife for years, I should say. I've got to live somewhere eventually with great bagels and great coffee. And I actually believe we've achieved that. I've had probably the best bagels I've had in my life right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's hard to believe. Is that my...
Yeehaw.
Yee freaking.
So
what do you have for us? Your number what, sir?
I'll go 5 as well, and this is one you're gonna say that's a side item. It is, and if we in the future do a side item list, this will be there, and this will be high on that list. Just rolls, baby, rolls.
Great choice.
Oh my god, like
great choice.
There are certain restaurants where I could Texas Roadhouse. Give me a plate of rolls. I'm good. I don't have to order. I've had 7 rolls. I'm good.
So unhealthy, but so fulfilling, flavor-wise.
So yeah, it is literally filling. Oh my gosh, I do. This is gonna be like half the people haven't even heard of this. I dip my rolls in ranch. I like ranch. Honestly, I like ranch a little too much. But dude, I dip my rolls in ranch. It's so good. I'm that guy. Like every time, most times we go places, I'm like, hey, can I get ranch with the rolls? They're like, okay. Like you can tell they're like, okay, that's in the grand scheme of things, I'm probably not that strange, but maybe it's the first time I've heard of that day or whatever. So, but
well, I'm not going to give you grief because we've talked about it before, I think. Never on the pod, though. You know that place called Ryan's? Ryan's
Great
Buffet?
Rolls. Great bread, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you agree. For those who don't know, it's a buffet. It's like Golden Corral. I don't know if you call it more or less fancy. It just seems like, honestly, more desperate. It's a more desperate Golden Corral. That's how I would describe it.
Good.
The desperation reeks in there.
Yeah.
It does.
That's great.
I was there for dinner with a family friend growing up with my older brother. And I was unmonitored, which was not the case at this age when I was with my parents. For dinner, I had rolls with nacho cheese.
Hey, see?
from the $20 buffet. That's all I got. Rolls and nacho cheese, baby. Dude, so I go back 3 weeks later with my parents, and I come back from my first thing with a plate of rolls and nacho cheese. And my parents are like, "What are you doing?" I'm not paying.
It's the point of a buffet.
Probably wasn't $20 back then.
Right.
I'm not paying $15 for you to eat rolls and nacho cheese, but it's what I want. Too bad. You're not getting any more. Eat those and that's it.
They're in the food pyramid somewhere.
Right in wherever the heart is.
Yeah.
real talk. That's a funny experience that I've had. Yeah. I'm like, I just had rolls and nacho cheese as a kid. I was chilling.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Number 4 for you is what?
Ugh! Another one you're not going to be fond of. I don't know if it's because you dislike this food or if it's because you just don't have it very often. My number 4 would be ramen freaking noodles. I love ramen noodles. They are delicious. They are so lively and flavorful to me, despite being a poor person food in the United States. Yeah, struggle food, right? Because they're quite literally, my wife and I were discussing earlier this week, are they the cheapest thing at the grocery store these days? Is it the literal cheapest item there? It might be.
It would be that or rice, something.
Yeah, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Well, we're talking you have $1. What can you buy? I'm not sure there's much else you can buy besides ramen noodles, right?
Right.
So, yeah, it's a struggle food, but I love ramen noodles. There are higher end ramen noodles that exist out there. I found some that I really love. And I get a craving for them no matter how healthy or unhealthy I've been eating during that time span. So, I love ramen noodles. Japanese TV shows always make them look so delicious, too.
They do.
Like, God, they make them look so good, man. I'm like, God, I got to get some ramen. When my wife and I watch, what's that one show called?
Dragon Ball!
I'm not saying that one anymore. You can say it. Yeah, that one always makes us go, oh, I want ramen. And they cannot even be eating ramen at this point, but because there's been times where they were, that then made us say, oh, I want ramen. Watching that show, minus the presence of ramen, still makes us want ramen. I don't think I'd want to go without it if I had 5 foods for the rest of my life. Number 4, ramen noodles.
Okay.
Book it.
I got one that the aesthetic of where sometimes you're eating this definitely plays a role. I'm gonna go hot dogs, dude. Like a good ballpark hot dog, or you're at a family picnic and there's Uncle Joey over there grilling on the thing, grilling up burgers and dogs. I especially now, we didn't do this always, but we get the top slit buns and we butter the sides and toast them. Oh, it's so good, dude. I love, it's such an easy dinner whenever you're feeling lazy, because you can freaking boil the hot dog if you wanted. You don't even have to grill it or anything.
You boil your hot dog still as an adult? They're just so much worse.
It is. That's it depends on how tired or lazy I'm feeling. If it's just me eating, I'm probably just gonna boil them. But if it's
microwave them if you felt like it.
Yeah, if it's me or the wife, we got one of those. It's not a George Foreman because it technically doesn't have the top grill. It's just like a grill, but it's an indoor thing.
Like a griddle.
Yeah. Throw them on there for 10 minutes at most, and there you go. So, dude, love hot dogs. So again, the aesthetic of them, I love it. I think they're great.
What's your ideal hot dog? Walk me through it.
Well, first off, I tend to go all beef, even though God knows if that is all beef. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of the ones with cheese stuffed in them and crap. I'll just give me an all beef hot dog. Okay. I like my buns toasted, and I just put a little bit of ketchup on it. Pretty basic.
That's all you do. If you have every topping at your disposal and you're not putting anything else on there, just ketchup.
If I have the choice, sometimes, because I don't do this all the time, even if I most times have the choice, I'll put diced onions on there as well.
Onions and ketchup.
And that's
you can't just go ketchup. if you have everything at your disposal. If you have everything at your disposal, don't just go ketchup.
What are you going? You like a full chili dog? What are you doing?
I'm a coney guy, yeah, chili and cheese. Not onions or mustard, though, which some people like on their conies. So
ain't no mustard.
I'm kind of embarrassed. Because I think if you were to, like, go within the recesses of my mind and be like, what's really your favorite food? I have the somewhat controversial answer of Skyline chili is my favorite food. Yeah, I love that crap. Okay. It's not on my list anywhere. But you mentioned hot dogs. I was like, ooh, conies, bro. I could no more conies ever. God, tough, man, dude. That would suck. Tough. Yeah. So
some foods have that aesthetic, and that helps them out. That's just how it works.
Yeah, and this food does not have this aesthetic. That's why people don't like it. People put the chili on spaghetti. They're like, ugh, it's really good. You should try it sometime. So
okay.
It's probably my favorite food. Cincinnati style chili is technically what it's called. People call it Skyline because that's the most popular brand. It's like calling sodas Coke. Same thing.
Okay, that makes sense. Nice.
Yeah.
Tres.
Wait, back to me? Yeah, tres por mí. My number 3, I don't think I'm going to shock anybody with any of these answers from here on out. I'm going to go tacos. You can do them so many different ways. And if you're talking Mexican food, which is probably my favorite individual kind of food, tacos are the go-to. Had tacos today for dinner, right? Tex-Mex tacos, granted, but tacos nevertheless. And growing up, it was always my favorite or second favorite food, depending on what day you caught me on. But it only made third on this list. Even though Skyline chili is my favorite food, didn't make the list at all. So, number 3 for me, tacos. You good with the tacos? I mean, where you at on the whole thing?
No, I love tacos. I don't know if they'd be in my top 5, but upon greater thought, maybe they should be, because you can just have so many different things in a taco, too. Like, you can do so many different things to tacos, so many different combinations. So, upon deeper thought, maybe they should have been a top 5. I didn't, but that's a good pick. I think it's fine.
Heck yeah! All right, man. What you got for yourself at number 3? I know we're not going really like. We're not digging into each other here. Nobody's giving a really bad take. You didn't like bagels, really, but so far I'm like, yeah, these are fine takes.
Yeah, I think my next one is just. I hate to be like, I feel like I'm being boring almost so far, but it's just how it is.
Rolls and hot dogs is pretty wide of you so far. Try not to be very mayonnaise with this one if you can.
Here it comes.
Oh, great. Mac and cheese.
No, I know, but it's what I just said. Old Joey over there, Uncle Joey's grilling dogs. He's also grilling burgers.
That's third for you? It's not 1?
Probably. No.
I'm shocked.
The burgers, oh my gosh, dude. Again, you go everywhere, make burgers very different, all the different toppings. Sometimes I get a plain burger with just cheese. Sometimes I get everything on a burger.
I would never do that. Ugh. Yeah. This is more like you got to put the ketchup on there. Cheese and ketchup is my bare minimum for a burger.
See, I'll do a plain burger, and guess what? Ranch. It's so good.
You're such a whore for ranch.
I am. That's
you really are.
I feel like everybody like maybe you with ketchup. It sounds like I don't know what sauce. Like I feel like everybody's favorite sauce. A lot of us probably like it a little too much, and I will admit I like ranch a little too much. But
I was way too into ketchup for a few years of my adult life. Not to say that I was putting on like abnormal things. I really don't think I was. But anytime I do sauce at all, I get a lot of it. Like I told you, like my wife wanted to like gag at the amount of Chick-fil-A sauce I was putting on every nugget a few weeks back, right? Because I'm like it's a spoon, right? And so that's how I am with everything. So I flew through ketchup because it's going on everything.
There you go.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, no, but it was like, man, you just love ketchup too much. I'm like, not really. It's just that it goes with everything we eat. So
there were people out there loving ketchup more. That's for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's some people.
There definitely are. So.
But dose is dose going to be a shock for us?
We're back to me.
We are. That's how it's working.
I'm shocked. That's all the talk we got with burgers. 2 is probably not going to be a shock. But like. We're not going to have any shocks with our number 1, number 2 food we couldn't live without, I don't feel like.
At this point, yeah.
We'll probably have the same number 1, or your number 2 will be my number 1. My number 2 is chicken sandwiches. So, the chicken version of burgers. I just prefer chicken to burgers. I always have, especially now that I'm eating meat again, right, over these last few months. I was starting to get recognized at Chick-fil-A with how often I was going there. And so
That's fine.
It's like... God, it never gets old. I think perhaps my biggest safe food right now would be a spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. Like, as in, like, it doesn't matter how hungry I am, how tired I am, how happy I am, how mad I am, how hungry or not hungry I am. I could go for a spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. I really could.
Okay. So, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would not want to go without them if you only give me 5 for the rest of my life. Chicken sandwiches, number 2 for me.
Number 2, baby. I'm going with another side. This is king of the sides.
Really?
King of the sides, IMO.
French fries.
Mac and cheese, baby.
Oh, there's mac and cheese. My fault.
There it is. That's what you said. I was like,
You made it sound like it's not going to be
It's coming.
there.
It's coming. Dude, oh, God. If there's meals that I probably had mac and cheese with that you're like, why are you having mac and cheese with that? Like, it probably doesn't go well with whatever entree I'm having. Whenever we have hot dogs, every time we have hot dogs, we have mac and cheese with it. Oh, it's...
Well...
maybe that's not that weird, but it's just something we do. Yeah. It is a legendary pairing. If you haven't had hot dogs, toast your buns with mac and cheese, that's your dinner, do it. It's great.
Very white of you, but...
It's my favorite side item, dude. It is so good. There are times where I'll get this much mac and cheese and this much of my entree because I just want, wow. There you have it. I could not, dude.
Now, my thing is, again, you'll hear me say this often for a lot of things, but like, as an adult, my standards for mac and cheese have gone up. They just have. I'm really picky about, like, straight out of the box, cheese mix, water. That's what you're getting as a side for your dinner. Well, okay, it's not going to go with most things that I want as an adult then, right? Give me a baked mac and cheese. Even like Chick-fil-A, fast food mac and cheese. Really, really, really good mac and cheese. If it's that kind, you can put it with a lot of things and be fine, I think. Mm-hmm. So, you ever had the mac and cheese pizza from CC's?
No, but there is a CC's near us, so I have to go try that.
You should definitely try it. CC's is, dude, as an adult, CC's feels like the Twilight Zone. I don't think time passes when you're in there.
It is very weird. I mean, they got the arcades.
It's weird, man.
They got the arcades in there. They always got like
still
little arcades in the corner. Yeah.
Still arcades.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is.
Cinnamon roll pizza.
Yeah, that's still there too. The cinnamon apple pizza, still there.
Those were good. I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Brownies baked in pizza ovens, so they're like so gooey. They're good.
Yeah. If you hate on CC's, get out of here.
I'm not hating on CC's.
Oh, no, I wasn't saying you were. I was just saying in general. Right. If you're a CC's hater.
One in Cincy. Yeah, it feels weird in there, man. I just feel like something's not quite right. I feel like I'm at Krabby on Mondays when I'm in there.
It is weird, especially as an adult, to go into CC's.
Yeah. When have you been recently? Have you been to one?
It's been a long time. It's been at least 5 years.
Yeah, but you've been as an adult. Mm-hmm. And you're like, something's not right. Yeah. Every time I go, it's just very interesting to me because Cincinnati is in Ohio, of all places. Every time I go, it's like 60% Hispanic people in there. I don't know if that's the proper term to use or not. I'm not
ethnicity or race by
that. Right? I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's just like, that's interesting. Right? But also, like, it's like awkwardly quiet. I couldn't tell you if there's music. There's trivia on the TVs, but it's like straight out of Trivial Pursuit from 2005. Yeah. Like, these haven't been updated since the Bush administration.
Still fun to play.
Like, but the arcades have been updated, and they're worse and crappier now, I feel like. Yeah, something's not right with CC's, man. I don't know what it is.
That's fair.
But I will go at least once this year at some point. I can guarantee you that. My wife will say, I want CC's. And I'll say, okay, we'll go CC's.
That's fine. I need to go. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah. So that was your number 2?
That was my 2, so we've come to it, buddy.
Well, speak of the devil, my number 1 is pizza. Like every freaking American for the most part. Your number 1's not pizza. You could go the rest of your life without pizza and be like, that's fine.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all. I definitely could.
That's insane.
I definitely... I don't know if overall I would say I am picky about it. It's me doing my typical, like, well, this compared to this thing. I think Papa John's... I don't think Domino's holds a candle to Papa John's. So, as far as fast food pizza goes...
Is that different to you? It's definitely different, but, like...
Absolutely.
They're both fine to me.
I'm not going to, like, Domino's, but... If you have me, there is a Domino's literally a quarter mile from where we live. There's a Papa John's 20 minutes. I choose Papa John's every chance I can.
That's crazy.
It's so. So long story short, my opinion on pizza, admittedly, probably shouldn't be trusted that much. But
you don't like Papa John's even enough to be like, man, some Papa John's pizza, assuming that's your favorite from the chains.
It's good.
Have you had good local pizza, like at all, really?
Yeah, there have been times, not since we moved here. But, I mean, this is crazy because I literally had Papa John's for lunch today.
Did you?
Yeah. I had leftover
But you would
Papa
not,
John's.
you'd be fine to be like, nah, no pizza. I'm good.
Probably. I think so.
I would say like close to half or more of Americans would put pizza on this list of 5 things. I'm very shocked that you don't.
For sure. And if I didn't have mac and cheese or rolls, it definitely would have taken one of those side spots. Probably should have, I guess. But like I said, those sides are just so good to me. I gotta have them.
No, it's food items, and I mean the side is a food item. I thought about that, so I was like, this isn't meals. This isn't favorite meals, right?
Right.
Favorite fast food items. It's just food. So we can go more specific in the future, and I think we might have to really get some of these spicy takes out there.
Right.
My list, 1 through 5: pizza, chicken sandwiches, tacos, ramen noodles, bagels.
Definitely more diverse than mine, which
Yeah.
goes. So I'm just gonna say specifically fried chicken, number 1.
Okay. But you can't have sandwiches, I feel like. I feel like that's breaking the rules.
That's what it is. It's a fried chicken sandwich. It's a fried chicken with bread on it. With
I feel like
bread.
if you say fried chicken, you got bones, right? I thought about
No,
this.
I
I
do
thought about saying
boneless.
fried chicken.
Do
I'm like,
boneless
I think
always.
by saying chicken sandwiches, I don't get KFC anymore. I'll
Okay,
have to
so
live with that. Granted, they have them.
by that regard, does that mean do I get? First off, I'm gonna go boneless. But does that mean I get tenders, wings?
Yep, just no sandwiches.
Okay,
I think when you put the bread on it, becomes a sandwich. That's a different food.
Okay, that's fine. I
You
won't.
cool with that?
I won't fight
Still
you
number
on
one?
that.
All right.
So number 1, dude. My mom's fried chicken. Now she taught me how to make it. Oh, dude, fried
Ask me
chicken.
a recipe. I need a recipe. So
It's not.
I need
It's
a fried chicken
probably.
recipe.
It's probably not that outlandish. It's just the way she did the breading. She breaded it a little differently to make sure the breading stuck.
Okay.
And then obviously everybody likes their fried chicken a little. Maybe you like yours darker or lighter, whatever. Which that's up to you. Just leave it in the pan longer or shorter.
Mm-hmm.
But fried chicken, mac and cheese. I already
You're in the
forgot,
wrong order.
Bert. Fried chicken? No, I'm not.
You're
Number
going
1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should go top to bottom.
Number
Fried
1.
chicken's at the top, right?
Is it if you count down?
I know, but I
Is it
went
the bottom?
top to bottom here. But you're putting
Well, I'm
number
going
1 to
bottom to
bottom.
top. I'm going top to bottom from the bottom.
Listen how weird that sounds.
Suck my balls.
Yeah, there you go.
One fried
Tell me how
chicken.
it is.
2 would be mac and cheese. Give me burgers, hot dogs, rolls.
Rolls are your number 1 food you can't live without. That's crazy.
Which way? I said You know I did.
I know you did.
If I'm on an island and I got those 5 foods forever, I'm
fine.
I'm
Leave
not
me on the
sorry.
island. Mm-hmm. What's interesting is, this would never happen. Well, if I was on an island, I think I'd like bacon, egg, and cheese bagels. You want bagels and bacon and eggs and cheese? Bro, that's 4 things right there.
Right,
So,
but
it's fun to
that's what
play.
we're doing. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
So
They
maybe
have
we'll
it.
do another one of these in the future, right?
I think we definitely should, but I definitely hopefully my next list won't be so vanilla because I definitely think I had much more of a vanilla list than you. But that's how it goes, people. Sorry
That's
about
what it is, man. I've got Italian, Japanese, Mexican, and American on mine. So I'm a world-traveled man.
I think I got heart attack, diabetes, American on mine throughout.
Yes, sir.
So
Next week, we're going to do something that I don't think we've discussed on the pod yet. The meme calendar. Have we discussed it? We got it live.
went down my air hole.
We can back up and I can say that again if you'd
I'm
like.
gonna leave that in for sure.
You leave that in.
I'm leaving it in. I don't know if we've talked about it or not, but yeah, you see him every year. This stupid like meme of the month, and not even 90% of the time, every percent of the time, there's at least like 2 months. You're like, what's that for April?
Yeah.
Makes no
We're
sense.
going to do our best to stop that.
We're gonna create the
We're gonna do-
definitive meme calendar. So
Calendar.
we're gonna have to update it throughout the year, and obviously
Yes,
we're
sir.
gonna do January, and we're gonna get it right. And you can
I
look
hope
forward
so.
to that.
We have to finalize that, of course. We'll do our best. Obviously, we don't see every meme. How could you say it's the best meme? You don't know every meme. But we're going to do it. It's not.
If we're getting technical.
Oh, my God.
Suck my balls.
Yes. Look forward to that.
You said that's how you.
That's
did
how
it.
you know. That's how you know I was getting real pissed off. Just so you know. I'm like, this is beneath me at this point. So suck my balls.
The best comeback of any argument ever. Oh yeah, suck my balls.
Up yours. Yeah, up yours. Gee, thanks. Got anything else to say, pal?
That's all I got, pal. NBA champs aren't world champs. Peace, baby.
Who dey? Lakers for world champs 2024.
This is stupid.